the world that was forgotten. They told us it was the new world, a land discovered, untouched, waiting. But how can something be new when millions already lived, built, traded, and named it long before foreign ships touched its shores? Something doesn't add up. Long before Christopher Columbus sailed west under the blessings of the Catholic Church, entire civilizations thrived across these lands. Engineers, astronomers, architects, cities aligned with the stars, trade routes stretching further than textbooks admit. So why were they erased? Why were their names replaced? Why did the maps change? History tells us that this land became America, named after Amerigo Vespucci. But that name wasn't chosen by the people who lived here. It was given, imposed by outsiders who claimed discovery over existence. And with that naming came power. Languages were silenced, spiritual systems outlawed, knowledge burned or rewritten. What wasn't destroyed was rebranded. We're told a clean story: discovery, settlement, civilization. But reality looks more like encounter, conquest, erasure, rewrite. Look closely at these old architectures across the Americas. Massive stonework, advanced city planning, structures that raise questions: who built them? And why do their origins feel blurred? Look at the early maps. Compare accounts. Notice the contradiction. It's not that history is completely false. It is incomplete. And sometimes what's missing matters more than what's written. So what's the real question? Was this a new world? Yes. Who decided it was new? And what did they need us to forget?
The parasites destroyed our world. Let it be known worldwide.
We were passing love notes between people who already knew, without a doubt, that we were one. We were the ones who poured our hearts into every block we placed. We were the builders who raised monoliths that still carry our love across centuries. We were the people whose deep knowing turned ordinary stone into something holy. We're the lineage that created beauty with hands that had never learned cruelty. That's who we were. That's the special blood that still runs in us. That's the reason my hand is on my heart right now, and why yours belongs there too. We were so open. We were the ones who let the stranger sit by our fire. We were the ones who allowed the parasite to get too close. A parasite's only role is to take over the host from the inside out. Well, we were the host. We were the living body of a people who carried stars in our blood. We were the keepers of knowledge so deep, it was meant to be whispered from grandparent to child, 50 generations down the line. We were watching the stories fade. We were feeling the sacred teachings slip. We were the ones whose libraries of living crystal were smashed before our eyes. And we were the ones whose children would never hear the full truth because the voices of the ancestors were removed. Whatever the parasite couldn't reverse engineer, they destroyed or repurposed. All of it, soon to be gone forever. We were the lineage that held the blueprint of a world built on love, and we were watching it burn. We were betrayed by our own kindness, and then a parasite destroyed our beautiful world. We watched as everything we had created with love was torn apart and erased. They smashed what stood for centuries and yet left behind only small pieces, just enough to whisper in our subconscious, tugging at a truth we can barely remember when we passed them today. They told us this country was built on brave wars and honorable conquest. They were fake wars. All of it staged and written by the ones who won.